Well, good morning, everyone. It is traditional, actually, that I say good morning, you all say good morning back. So we'll wake everyone up, because it is just 9:05. So good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Ah, lovely, well done. It's great to be back with you here yet again, as Max says, nearly a decade in the making. I see some very old faces and lots of lovely new ones as well. He's my business partner, so, I can say that. I'm Tom Ellis, CEO of Brand Genetics, and I'm delighted to be your chair again for another year. Oh, no, here we go. My tech doesn't work either. So, thank you. For those of you who don't know Brand Genetics, we are all about revealing the hidden truths about what people want to unlock sustainable brand growth for our clients. Because, there you go, only when you understand why someone is doing what they're doing can you really hope to influence their choices. So for us, it's about combining empathy techniques, behavioral science, psychology, to get to those hidden motivations. And that's really where we think innovation opportunity lies. So it's going to be enough from me. If you want to know more, please come and grab me, or my colleagues Andrew, Cliff, Ollie are in the room as well, and we'd be delighted to tell you. But we're going to move on to GIF. There you go, good. So look, we have got a wonderful couple of days lined up, as Max says, with brilliant speakers from across the innovation spectrum. We have got the likes of Coca-Cola, Google, Mars, Ford, and AstraZeneca. We'll also be provoked with perspectives from Museum of Failure, or a metaverse singer, Teflon Sega. We've got Earthshot winners, climate activists, a graffiti artist, the brilliant teen tech innovators, and I've left many, many things out. We've also got workshops and roundtables. We've got a hydration station, a massage station, pop-ups, the brilliant live illustration, this time digital, from Chris and his team, which will be available for you guys all to see. I think those of you who have been before know it's normally up on the walls, but this time it'll be digitally rendered. But it is always about more than just the speakers and the activities. It is actually, the wonderful thing about GIF is it's all about you guys and the great audience we get here from across the innovation spectrum. So in the spirit of encouraging you to talk to strangers, as Max did, I'm going to just for 20 seconds get you to turn around, stand next to you, and just introduce yourself to someone who you don't already know. Say hi, give your name, your job, and then we'll get back in the room. Now we've broken the ice, I'm gonna ask you to settle back down. This is always too much fun. Settle back down, sorry. It's like starting a cocktail party and then the host makes a speech, isn't it? Well, as I say, this is the most fun you're gonna have in my talk, so luckily you've got Minette up next. Anyway, look, that is the spirit, so easy. Do it in the coffee break. If you see anyone standing by themselves looking at their phone, it's a perfect time to go and talk to them, because clearly they're not doing an important work email. This year, there we go. The theme is make it work, or make it count, actually. How can we all drive impactful change through innovation? Now, that's a great ambition. But one of the key challenges and one of the hot topics from last year was how hard it can be to get our businesses and stakeholders to embrace innovation. And this resistance is often the biggest barrier to creating real impact. So we all know culture eats strategy for breakfast, and evidence supports this. A recent McKinsey study showed that companies that relentlessly foster an innovation culture and mindset achieve 4% higher TSR than other growth outperformers. So that's not just the average, that's the outperformers. It really matters. You can have the right processes, the right tools, the right ideas, but without the right culture, innovation will never thrive. So how do you build an innovative culture? To help us understand what it takes, I want to introduce someone who is not a management consultant, who isn't an innovation expert, or even a culture consultant. This chap is Alex Honnold. Now, some of you may have heard of him. For those of you who haven't, he's a climber. And he's a pretty extraordinary climber. Let me just show you quite how extraordinary.
Alex Honnold is the foremost free soloist in the world. He has free soloed routes that no one else can. To free solo means to climb without ropes or safety equipment. One false move, one slip, and it's over.
The risk in free soloing is always to fall off and fall to your death. I mean, that's pretty straightforward.
My directing partner and husband, Jimmy Chin, is a professional climber, and we were interested in making a feature-length documentary about his friend Alex.
When Chai and I first talked about making a film about him, we were talking about the character study, a general portrait of Alex, why he's extraordinary.
But we realized Alex was dreaming of doing something much bigger, much more dangerous.
The only thing that would justify making a movie with me is doing something that I'm like truly proud of. To me, the big dream has always been free soloing El Cap. That is the culmination of anything I can imagine.
So they did indeed make a movie about him called Free Solo, which I highly recommend if anyone hasn't seen it, in which he attempts to climb El Capitan. That's a rock that towers some 3,600 feet above Yosemite, and he did this without ropes or safety equipment. In the film, the interviewer says to him, "Here's what I don't understand. One little mistake, one slip, and you fall and die." Honnold replies, "You seem to understand it pretty well." Now, what does this have to do with innovation? Well, while corporate innovation may not put us at risk of certain death, it is still a risky business. It requires bold bets in the face of uncertain outcomes and a willingness to persevere despite setbacks, criticism, and self-doubt. And it scares people. Now, what we see is that this fear paralyzes innovation in most companies. And my PowerPoint, it turns out. Don't be scared. What we can see is average or below average innovators are 3 times more likely to report that fear holds them back compared to innovation leaders. So while we all marvel at Alex Honnold free soloing, climbing in a way that almost anyone else would be too scared to try, I would argue that most of the people in this room, you are the free soloists of the business world. For most people in your organization, the path you tread on innovation is like Honnold climbing El Cap without ropes. It's bloody scary. And we can be more specific about what is so scary because there are 3 types of fear that hinder innovation. The biggest fear is fear of career impact. It's the stark difference between the average and the extraordinary companies out there. You are 3.6 times more likely to play it safe if you think that your next innovative move could cost you your promotion or your bonus. Loss aversion grabs the wheel and drives us down this safe highway when really we should be heading off-road in search of adventure. The next fear is fear of loss of control or uncertainty. So much of innovation is unpredictable. It triggers the ambiguity effect, making us shy away from the unknown and cling to the incremental, to the safe. And then finally, there's fear of criticism. We're hardwired for conformity. Our inner tribesman does not like to be the outcast. Now, while no one ever got fired for hiring IBM, in innovation, playing it safe is playing to lose. So, if on the one hand, we know that fear is holding businesses back from innovating, but on the other, we know that a culture of innovation is the key to high performance, why are only 9 out of 10 organizations doing nothing, to address that fear? And something needs to shift because businesses can't just rely on hiring a few innovation-free soloists like there are in this room, because it's a whole business challenge. Winning ideas will only thrive and succeed if the environment around them is supportive. And as innovation leaders, we need to help our businesses to overcome these fears if we truly want to make it count. So let's get back to the death-defying Alex Honnold. Because it's not that he is fearless. In fact, in the film, when he looks at El Capitan, he says it's effing scary. It's that he has managed to overcome his fears. To do what he does without freaking out or losing his cool, he has had to expand his comfort zone so that operating in effectively mortal peril becomes almost mundane. How does he do this? How does he overcome fear when literally any mistake could mean his certain death? Well, perhaps most importantly, he truly loves climbing. It's his happy place, so he's highly motivated. Then he puts huge time and preparation into mastering every route. He memorizes hundreds, if not thousands, of footholds and hand placements, visualizing himself in specific situations, physically training himself to be in peak physical condition. He also climbs constantly. For a long time, he lived out of a van, so he could just cruise around and climb wherever the mood took him. He even goes climbing on holiday. So these are all, if not direct lessons, clues as to how we can approach this challenge in our own businesses and get more people more comfortable with innovation, expanding our corporate comfort zone. So, at Brand Genetics, we use this model. It's called COM-B. It's a model of behavior change that's widely cited, expert endorsed, and based in real science. COM stands for capability, opportunity, and motivation, with B being behavior. We use it as both a diagnostic tool to understand why people do what they do, as well as a way to help our clients understand how to shift that behavior moving forward. Now, on your seats, you do have a handy reminder of this on our little leaflet there, but as a quick overview, capability. This is your individual capacity or means to perform a behavior. So think of Honnold's preparation work. Are you physically or psychologically capable of doing what you want to do? Opportunity is about whether you have the occasion to perform a behavior. Think about Honnold living out of a van so he can constantly practice new climbs. So do you have the physical, social, and financial opportunity to do what you want to do? And motivation is your drive to perform a behavior. Do you want to do it? Think about his sheer passion for climbing. Motives that may be explicit or implicit, intrinsic or extrinsic, but if you can find a way of aligning to them rather than trying to shift them, then that's the road to success. Now, the flexibility of COM-B means that it's a powerful tool for understanding and facilitating behavior change across a wide range of contexts. We've successfully applied it to diverse challenges with Pepsi, Diageo, Instagram, and Unilever, to name but a few. So we asked the question as to how we can apply COM-B to innovation culture. And the first thing to do would be to use it as a diagnostic tool to help assess where you are today and where your culture currently falls short. Once you're able to diagnose the biggest challenges, then it becomes much easier to know what you need to do to maximize that impact. Now, we've developed an innovation culture assessment using COM-B that will give you a snapshot. If you can find it here, by the way. Hopefully people at the back can grab that if they need it. That will give you some individual initial pointers on where you think you are weak and what you can do about it. Once you know this, you can apply the COM-B lens and we can identify the specific interventions necessary to change behavior. You can do this yourselves. You don't need us, by the way. But to this end, I want to spend my final few minutes talking about some practical ways we can start to shift behaviors and how some of the best-in-class companies out there are currently applying this thinking. So despite the fact that it is the M, the last letter in COM, and it's often tempting to start with capability development or creating more opportunities for innovation, it's motivational that is critical and is often the missing piece. Motivation is the engine that moves us forward towards our goals. It's the why that drives us all. It matters because if people aren't motivated to innovate, then no amount of capability or opportunity enhancement will help. So we strongly suggest you start here. Now, not everyone in your business is going to be as passionate about innovation as you, but you can look at how you can better align with people's existing motivations. And the science can show us a few of them here. There's extrinsic and intrinsic. If you consider the extrinsic goals, these are about approval and reward from others. How can you align reward structures so pay, promotion, and perks to behaviors you want to see. The businesses that are the top innovators, they don't just tolerate innovation, they demand it. If you want to climb the ladder, show us you've danced with risk. The top innovators in McKinsey's study are nearly 3 times more likely to expect innovation as a rite of passage. Now at Google, they actively reward risk-taking, not just for the sake of it, but in order to solve some of their biggest challenges. The organization challenges and rewards employees across departments and functions to not only develop new ideas, but also to poke holes in existing systems and challenge the status quo. Indeed, this organization so values innovation that they actually reward failure if they learn from it. For example, the team behind the short-lived Google Waves was rewarded. But also do consider intrinsic goals. These are the goals that are within people, not external carrots. Think about Alex Honnold, who talks about train hard, try hard, and follow your dreams. What are your employees' dreams, and how can you align innovation to those? So Tesla's mission to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy serves as a really powerful motivator for employees to innovate. And likewise, Netflix's culture of freedom and autonomy motivates employees to take ownership of their projects and push the boundaries. So consider how you can better align what you're trying to do to the human motivations that move us all. Ultimately, motivation really matters. So take the time to get this piece right, and you will maximize the impact of any other work. Now, once you've got motivation nailed, then you can look at enhancing capability and opportunity. These are both ways of enabling people to achieve their goals. Let's start with capability. This could take the form of training to enhance the team's innovation skills. Satya Nadella put customer empathy at the heart of his turnaround at Microsoft. He asserts that mastering empathy is the most formidable skill of all. And he banged the drum for building a real empathy skill set with customers. So that has in turn helped to inspire innovation and business growth. Or it can be to help foster the sort of culture, diverse and inclusive, where innovation can thrive. Now I know Manette in a moment is going to be touching on things like that and psychological safety in more detail. But we know that top innovating companies cultivate a culture where critique isn't just tolerated, it's actively welcomed. Pixar foster this through the Brains Trust meetings, which form a platform for staff to receive constructive feedback, enhancing their creative thinking and developing their capabilities. It doesn't also just have to be about work. To keep the team bringing fresh ideas to the table, Amazon have created their Expressions Lab, which provides employees with opportunities to attend art workshops and a diverse range of creative classes, and thereby further enhance creativity and bring in outside inspiration. Now, when it comes to opportunity, this is about giving everyone the chance to get involved in innovating in low-risk, high-impact ways. Atlassian's Ship It Days, Microsoft have a hackathon day, Pixar are the same. They all allow employees to work on anything related to the company's products or services, but offering the opportunity to innovate beyond their regular day job. They're really energizing. Many of you will have heard of the Adobe Kickbox program, which provides resources and tools for employees to develop their own ideas, thus creating more opportunities for innovation. Now, interestingly, those at the forefront of innovation are 11 times more likely to encourage risk-taking via experimentation. Spotify, for example, runs over 250 experiments a year, which helps people to develop their innovation skills in a safe, secure environment, helping people understand that more often than not, the undo button is there, and that is a great way to build confidence. So, what's the key takeaway? If we want to make our work more impactful, if we really want to make it count, we need to create a culture of innovation. And that means we must actively work on addressing the fears that hold most of our businesses and organizations back. Innovation will always entail risk. But he's got ropes on here, by the way. As Alex Honnold teaches us, it's not about being fearless. It's about learning to overcome fear by being motivated and developing your skills and finding the opportunity to practice. So if your company is gearing up to scale that innovation rock face, use the COMBI framework to help you succeed. Whether by better aligning innovation to people's goals, giving them the capabilities and the environment to help them innovate in, or simply offering more opportunity to experiment. Soon they will be willingly doing the very things that used to make them recoil in fear. By identifying how to shift internal behaviors in small but meaningful ways, you too can help overcome the fears of the organization and help create a culture where innovation stops looking like you're about to free solo on El Cap and instead starts looking like an actually enjoyable activity. Thank you.